But as you know, J.D. Vance once likened your dad to Hitler as well. He questioned if he was America's Hitler.
It's very simple. You're a nasty person, I'll tell you.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. Our traditions are so important in life, separates us from the animals, right? Allows us to feel human and return to places of comfort and allow us to really settle back in and say, that seems so familiar. I just love that. Like 10 years ago, when President Trump had his first press conference, and he did this to a guy named Jim Acosta.
Don't be rude. You're attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you give us a question?
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you stay categorically?
You are fake news.
From the top rope and from the get, President Trump calling CNN fake news. Again, Donald Trump's first press conference after becoming president-elect. Now, much has changed. President Trump is now the president and is much stronger than he's ever been culturally. Jim Acosta is also unemployed. So great things can happen in the time span of about 10 years. Look at this. Hey guys, I've started something new. Go check it out. Says Jim Acosta with his blocked account. Look at him go. What did you start new, Jim?
Hey guys, it's Jim. And let me just say this, I've had quite the day. But as you could see earlier today, this was my last day at CNN. And I did want to jump on Substack Live here for a moment and say, welcome to my new venture. I'm going independent, at least for now. This is just the beginning, but I wanted to invite you to join me here on this platform as we talk about the day's news, talk about politics and so on. And I do want to, just in case you missed my closing message earlier in the day, don't give in to the lie.
Oh, it's so insufferable. It's so insufferable. The people, it's the gaslighting just hurts your brains. The people who told you that Donald Trump was a Russian agent for 4 straight years, that Bob Mueller was going to find something, that Donald Trump was worthy of impeachment, that Donald Trump tried to rig an election, that Donald Trump worked with the Russians, I'm running out of it. He stole documents. Jim Acosta was part of the sewage pipes that pumped lies and disinformation into everybody's brain, and then he's here getting fired from his job saying, don't believe the lies. Okay, have a great time on Substack, Jim. Good luck. But ladies and gentlemen, our traditions must be rekindled. We must have a new CNN reporter to make fun of at the White House, and that falls to somebody named Caitlin Collins. Caitlin Collins, who used to write the gossip and smut column for a conservative news site called the Daily Caller in Washington, D.C. Used to work there, right? No hate, nothing but love, no hate, okay? But, these kind of things make you what you are, and you are able to actually see who people are when you're working with them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Caitlin Collins has landed herself the gig of White House reporter for CNN. Caitlin Collins fires nasty barb at Caroline Leavitt. First press briefing. Of course, this is Donald Trump's bang-on press secretary. Done just a remarkable job. Had a wonderful first briefing. But Caitlin Collins had to pick up the mantle of Jim Acosta and carry on in his probably size 7 or 8 footsteps. And here we go.
How is the administration deciding which laws to follow and which ones to ignore?
So it is the belief of this White House and the White House counsel's office that the president was within his executive authority to do that. He is the executive of the executive branch, and therefore he has the power to fire anyone within the executive branch that he wishes to. There's also a case that went before the Supreme Court in 2020, Scala Law LLC versus the Customs, Bureau Protection. I would advise you to look at that case, and that's the legality that this White House was resting on.
Meow. And it continued through today when Caitlin Collins got the first opportunity to question President Trump. President Trump took to the press dais today in order to answer questions about the ongoing efforts to recover bodies after a horrific airline crash with a military helicopter right in Washington, D.C. And this, startled quite a number of people, and President Trump wanted to come out in force and be very transparent about what's going on. President Trump blamed, of course, low hiring standards and racist rules and policies, which are true, that the FAA implemented, and then was asked by Caitlin Collins about whether he feels bad about being mean and saying things like that. You're so mean. Perfect Jim Acosta impression. Here we go.
Know the names of the 67 people who were killed, and you are blaming Democrats and DEI policies and air traffic control and seemingly the member of the U.S. military who was flying that Black Hawk helicopter. Don't you think you're getting ahead of the investigation right now?
No, I don't think so at all. I don't think with the names of the people, you mean the names of the people that are on the plane? You think that's going to make a difference? They are a group of people that have lost their lives. If you want a list of the names, we can give you that. We'll be giving that very soon. We're in coordination with American Airlines. We're in coordination very strongly, obviously, with the military. But I think that's not a very smart question. I'm surprised coming from you.
I'm surprised coming from you. It's not a very smart question. Donald Trump. Beginning his first exchange with CNN at the White House. Hasn't taken a question from CNN at the White House. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Not a very smart question. I'm surprised. Welcome back to the White House, Caitlin Collins. CNN's Caitlin Collins immediately leaps to defend Biden government DEI hiring in the briefing room. Incredible. Caitlin Collins, you're going to have to do better than that. Trump just dog-walked Caitlin Collins. Wastes no time in making an a-hole of herself in the White House press conference. Trump shuts her down and shuts her up. I'm not surprised. That's not very smart coming from you. Stupid question. CNN had Schiff on for 4 years with Russian collusion claim, and not once did they ask him if he was getting ahead of the investigation. That's exactly right. What a great point. As she gets older, the Joker-style smirk gets more and more permanently etched on her face. What is that exactly? Like a very specific form of duck face. Here's fresh-faced Caitlin Collins, pre-smirk, wearing a much more neutral, honest facial expression, going on Fox News to talk about George Soros and mass illegal criminal immigration to this country. Oh, how times have changed. But Donald Trump hasn't changed. Donald Trump was able to fire back at the press corps today as he blames DEI and low hiring standard, which, of course, as we learn more about the airline crash, had to do with what happened in Washington, D.C., as 64 people are now dead when a U.S. Army helicopter smashed into a commercial airline flight, the deadliest commercial airline disaster in 20 years in America.
They blamed the diversity elements, but then told us that you weren't sure that the controllers made any mistake. We then said perhaps the helicopter pilots were the ones who made the mistake.
It's all under investigation.
I understand that. That's why I'm trying to figure out how you can come to the conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with this crash.
Because I have common sense, okay? And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. We want brilliant people doing this. This is a major chess game at the highest level. When you have 60 planes coming in during a short period of time, and they're all coming in different directions, and you're dealing with very high-level computer work and very complex computers. And one of the other things I will tell you is that the systems that were built, I was going to rebuild the entire system, and then we had an election that didn't turn out the way it should have.
Pete Buttigieg coming after Trump today, and Trump wasn't having it. Trump calls out Pothole Pete, named that because he was the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. And have you been to South Bend? Go check it out. Actually, don't recommend, in fact. Saying he had a good line of bullshit. He has run the FAA into the ground with his diversity. Not our strength, ladies and gentlemen. What's our strength is meritocracy and people who are good at their jobs doing their jobs, regardless of skin color or their sex or who they want to have sex with or like to have sex with, whatever. Like, can you competently guide a plane? Can you ask a question at a White House briefing? Are you good at your job? Something that a CNN reporter hasn't asked themselves in my lifetime. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. Maybe that's why we get more viewers than CNN. See ya.